This is my FlyLady Control journal. It is very much a work in progress, but it's working for me right now. There are things that I would absolutely add to this today, and there are things that are very much working in it. So this is just a day in the life of my control journal type of thing. So let's get into this. I have a notepad here that I use, and as you can see, I have ideas for accountable kids, because that is something I'm working on right now, is getting accountable kids implemented in my home. I also have a daily list here of what I need to get done today, ideally. And in the back here, I keep some alcohol swabs. Here's a checklist of things I could do. So I'm not sure I would keep that in there, but I just have it in here because it's part of FlyLady. I have a permanent marker, which you will see why I have that in a minute, and I have a friction pin, which I love because I can erase with it, and it uses heat in order to erase, and so the nib on the end here just creates heat, and that's what erases it. It's also good for quilting, so then I can use an iron and erase. I also have a notepad, and I've been writing notes to Max of things that he needs to get done, and that notepad is handy for that. Okay, on to it. It has several dividers, which the dividers, when you use the page protectors, don't necessarily show up very well. As you can see, the page protectors exceed the width of the dividers, but it helps a bit, and it also sections things off so that you don't get lost. So my first one here is my morning routine, and I use the page protectors, and I can use alcohol swabs. So if I go to alcohol swabs, and I can erase. This is permanent marker that I've used here, and it's a couple weeks old, and as you can see, I can erase it completely. Now, not all of these items I obviously need reminding with. I mean, I know to feed my children, but having a check mark that I could check off when I've done something that is time consuming is always nice. So I have that, and then as you can see, this all erases relatively easily with just a simple alcohol prep swab. So there you go. And we're down here. Anyway, I won't continue that. Afternoon routine and evening routine, or before bed routine. So some of this has changed, and one of the reasons why I put them in page protectors like this and didn't straight laminate them and put them in here is because I'm getting Max now to do my swish and swipe, and so I won't need to worry about this anymore. It will be something that I make sure he does as opposed to something I do. And so it's important to have it written down as opposed to my natural instinct, which is to type something out. So having it actually handwritten, it may change, and so therefore it's handy that way. And having it in page protectors makes it so that I can leave something for a long time, but it also makes it so I can change it if need be. Here is the weekly home blessing hour. This is another divider, and we've been doing this as a family. So Nathaniel is washing door handles, and he uses a baby wipe to wipe down all of the door handles. He cannot polish mirrors yet, but I normally get to that during the week as I see they need them. Max dusts, Tony vacuums, and I mop. So that works really well. And then this is something I'm playing with, is changing the sheets. I don't feel like I need to change the sheets every week. Tony also empties the trash every week, that he's not away on business. But our trash day is Monday, and so when we do our home blessing hour, which is typically on Sundays, this all would get done anyway. So things like cleaning out the fridge, um, if they are done on that Sunday, then we could take it out on Monday, and there is no problem there. So that's that tab. Next we have, oh, I thought this was in a page protector and it's not. I will get that out. I will fix that in a little bit. But as you can see, this is our things that I do every week, but not necessarily every day. So this is, on this particular day, I need to make sure the garbage cans are brought in. And this is the day that we have any girl children in our house, they would get baths. I don't do baths every day because my children, and I've noticed any child that is in my care, tends to have very dry skin if they get baths every day. And the options are lotioning them up every day or giving them a bath less often. So that's what I do. And then we have Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And then I also have Saturday and Sunday in here because there are times that you will do things like, for instance, on Saturday is the baby's bath, or on Saturday is the baby's bath day. So minor things that you may do, or church. Another thing I could cross off. It takes a lot of time, and having something to you can't go to church in 5 minutes, when I mean by a lot of time, so that is handy, and also our blessing. This going on. This is actually very old. Shows you how, this is a work in progress. And this is showing me my zone cleanings for the week of October. But this is showing me the different tasks that I would do this week. So if I was on the ball, which I haven't been on the ball since October, this would be it. This is the detailed, also in here I have the detailed cleaning list. And it's also talking a little bit more about zone cleaning. You can find these on the website for FlyLady.net, these sheets. And with these, I just laminated the side of them. I didn't laminate the whole thing because these are still a work in progress for me. So if I find that I don't need to do something every time we're in zone 1, then I can cross them out, Like, for instance, I don't clean my windows every single month. That would be tiresome. I'm doing it every 6 months, and considering that there were windows in my house that I never cleaned until a couple months ago, and we've lived here for 9 years, I think every 6 months is a good goal. So, things like that. And these are all the detailed cleaning lists for the different zones. And this is all from FlyLady. Next we have recipes, and I got this bread roll recipe from FlyLady Diane, or Diane in Denmark. I also have Yule Snaps and Kid Safe. This is not only food, this is Kid Safe essential oils and dilution charts in here. And then I have recipes for cleaners, or how to make elderberry syrup to avoid the flu. An ultimate grocery list. This is something FlyLady talks about, and I haven't really got to understand yet. And it's something I haven't started utilizing. I printed it out and I stuffed it in here, but I haven't really started utilizing it yet. But I hope to in the future, and so I have it in here. Next up, we have the Holiday Control Journal. And this is something that I started out really strong with, and I did not follow through, honestly. But this is where I threw it, and just because it says Holiday Control Journal, and we're almost to Christmas now, so I probably won't need this again until next year. I'm going to leave it in here because as I think of things, and as I think of things that I want to change for next Christmas, I will put them in here. And this is the section to do that. In here is the whole entire control journal that she talks about, which is on the website. And then I also have recipes. So this is Scottish shortbread and Berliner Brot, and mint chocolate fudge and cream cheese mince. All sorts of recipes that worked last year. Nathaniel ate these up like no tomorrow last year that I want to make this year. And so I'll keep them in here. If I decide, for instance, that I don't want the mint chocolate fudge and I want regular fudge, then I'll do that. The family really liked this Berliner Brot, I think because it's German, and my family's definitely into all things German right now. And then I have here homeschooling section. Now, if you're not a homeschooler, you may not want to have a homeschooling section, but I've decided that this was important to me, so I put it in here. And this is for Matthew, and then this is his comprehension, Max's comprehension. And then I also have in here what he'll be doing every lesson, so I can follow things along. And this is Nathaniel's math program as well. But anything like that, grading sheets and stuff like that, that I want to have a written copy of that I don't necessarily want to put on the computer, I can do here and throw them in here. Because this is stuff that I would stay at home. This control journal does not leave. I have a separate video that talks about my traveler's notebook. And my traveler's notebook goes with me, and it has my calendar in it. It has all of that kind of stuff. So if I were out and about and in public and I have a free moment to do something and write down a note, then I will do it in that. Or if I need to make an appointment, it goes down in that. And that I can bring into the house and I can take it out with me. Because appointments are not normally something that you do necessarily at home. A lot of times you're writing appointments elsewhere. Next section, I actually threw in here quilting patterns, which is, right now I only have Max's quilt in here. Max is working on making this quilt. It's actually colorful, it's not black and white, but he is working on making this quilt. And yeah, and then I have extra page protectors, which clearly I need to use one of them. And this is very funny. On the side here, these are more dividers, but this is from when I was doing IVF. And not only was I doing IVF, but I was doing fresh IVF cycles. And so you can see that I am a bit of a nut when it comes to all things, binders, and you can reuse things. That's the important thing. This is showing you that you can reuse these. I just haven't erased them. But this is probably, I haven't done IVF in what, 9-10 years. But this is showing you that you can reuse things. I bet this would erase with this. Yes, it would. So these alcohol wipes are really good for this. Anyway, this is my this is my home control journal. Oh, I drew on that one. And some book for my children's math program. And it gives you a rough idea of what a control journal can be. Obviously, this is a work in progress. It's not a be-all, end-all book. There are things that I would like to change in it. I am probably at some point going to put a cover on it. If you watched my video on my traveler's notebook, though, you know that I'm at the end of my zipper link at a much smaller size, so I need to find a much bigger zipper to be able to zip around this. But FlyLady sells those binder covers on her website, but I prefer to make something like that. And so I probably will. I just haven't done so. But I hope this video was helpful. Thank you.